Hey guys, it's good to be back and having a chat with you guys. This is take 2 of me trying to make this video. I can't talk too loud either. It's been a good 10, maybe 12 hours since I watched the season 7 premiere of The Walking Dead. And it's only just now that my emotions and everything have just started to calm down and shit. So I'm going to just talk about my thoughts on the episode and in what I think of it in general, and if you guys like this video, then like this video. So I'm not normally an emotional person, not normally, but this episode, it just gave me so many different emotions. I did cry a little bit, but I honestly didn't know whether to cry or whether to be angry, or it was really weird. But before I get into it anymore, if you haven't watched, obviously, the premiere, click away now, because I'm going to be talking about spoilers. And come and watch this once you've watched the season premiere. As you can see behind me, I've got a poster of Jeffrey Dean Morgan, aka Negan. He's the best. I love him. I've loved him since way back in Supernatural. So, yeah. So, to start off, I'm going to start with the one bad thing I want to point out about the episode. Is the only thing when Rick is on top of the RV and it was flashing between that and Negan killing who he killed and stuff. I wasn't a fan of it at first. Like, why couldn't they have just shown us the whole Lucille killing scene in full without doing the whole flashing sequence scene thing? That was the only thing I was pissed off about with this episode. Yeah. So then when it came to him bashing Abraham's head in the first time, I kind of knew it was going to be Abraham first because of the spoilers. Like, I don't dig into looking for spoilers. I just know people that like to stir shit, and if they see something, they'll post it. But yeah, after Abraham was like down and done sort of thing, I did really sort of feel for him, and now that he's gone, and the bit that probably not scared me but surprised me the most, like I knew Glenn was gonna die too. I just didn't know how it was gonna happen. And then when Daryl got up and punched Negan, I think that was probably my favourite part, even though I love JDM. Just making a guy like Negan, getting punched in the face, it was so awesome. And then he was like, oh, straight back to business, and douche Glenn straight in the head. I was like, fuck. And then when Glenn got back up, and the way his face looked with his eye, I just thought to myself, just hurry up and put him out of his misery. When he was mumbling, whatever he was mumbling, I couldn't understand the word he was saying. That was another thing I was kind of annoyed at. I might have to rewatch it, maybe. I'll see what happens. But yeah, that shocked the fuck out of me. So, yeah. Another thing I really, really liked is to do with the comics. I'm not over halfway through the comics. I'm getting there. But I know a fair bit about Negan's character in the comics and how funny he is, like, comedic-wise. And some of the lines he says. When he said about, like, Lucille being a vampire bat, I was like, oh my god, like, he actually said it. And then the ta-ta afterwards, just seeing lines coming from the comic, coming to the screen and bringing the words to life, it's just, yeah, freaking amazing. Another thing I was really surprised about was how much they actually showed of Negan bashing in Abraham and Glenn's head. Like, I know when we saw Noah's death, that was like really, really gory. and we actually got to see it all. And even like in past seasons when, like with Laurie, how they had to cut her open and stuff, and how gory it was. Like the goriest part to date before the premiere was probably the Noah kill, but I honestly didn't know what the hell that they were going to show. I thought maybe them showing actual Lucille hitting them ahead and shit flying everywhere was going to be too much, but I couldn't believe they actually decided to do it. It didn't bother me too much. I don't mind gory stuff, but when you could see the skin like sticking on Lucille and it was dragging along when he went like that, and when it went on their faces, that was really, really awesome. Second last thing I want to say is that part with Carl. Like, I really thought Rick was gonna chop his arm off, with his arm. I really thought that Rick was gonna do it. And then when Negan was like, "Oh, that's the face I wanted," I was like, "Oh damn!" Like, I know for them to cut limbs off in shows, it's really expensive. So in a way, I kind of knew that they weren't gonna do it, but I had hope. And the last thing I want to talk about is probably the saddest moment that got me right in the gut, was the dream sequence at the end with them sitting at the table and Glenn was holding their baby and Abraham was there. I don't know, it was just something about it, and the music. I think it was just the whole scene in general just, it was like it just punched me in the gut, although it felt like the whole entire episode just did that. And yeah, it was, to me, like it's a 10 out of 10 episode, except for those two flaws that kind of annoyed me a little. I don't know whether anyone else picked it up. And did anyone notice when after the Saviors were leaving, there was that guy taking photos of Abraham and Glenn? Flashback to last season when Glenn saw all the Polaroids of people's heads bashed in on the wall. So I wonder where they're gonna put the photos. Not too sure. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what the rest of the season brings. I don't know what next week's going to be like. I've seen the promo, but with all, I'm hoping, well, I know the emotions aren't going to go away from this episode, but will it bring next week's episode down, like because of all the emotions and stuff? I'm hoping it doesn't. But after everything that happened in the episode today, I don't think there's going to be much action next week. It'll be more about developing the story of the kingdom and Ezekiel and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll just have to see how next week goes. I'm excited though, because Shiva, I know it's all CG, but I fucking love tigers. And yeah, I'm excited to see where else they take Negan's, aka Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character, because I don't know completely everything that he does in the comic. So I'm excited for that. Also, before I finish, as you can, obviously that's there, I also have the comics that are all just down here. You can see all my comics. That I'm missing like 3. And then behind me, I've got all my Walking Dead pops. So I was just wondering, do you guys have any Walking Dead stuff, like pops or shirts or posters or anything? Let me know in the comments if you do. Next month I'm getting the Lucille, I think it's a 34-inch bat. It's the TV show version. I am so fucking excited to have it in my hands, like when it comes. So yeah, I think that's it for this video. Your thoughts on the premiere if you've watched it, let me know in the comments. And if you like this video and want me to do more, just let me know. Don't forget to hit that subscribe subscribe button down there somewhere. Stay candy delicious, and I'll talk to you guys soon.